Hey, my name is Shadowsense, and you're watching Sakura Spirit. We just had a nice heartfelt moment with Narumi. It was real nice. She's really cute. I really like her. I like her attitude. And we're going back to the village. We walked back to the village, exchanging idle chatter. I managed to establish that, while the girl was training her body as well, she lacked discipline. She led me to an unfamiliar building on the outskirts of the village and quickly unlocked the door. Welcome to my humble abode. It doesn't look like much, but I keep it tidy. You can put on one of Oji-sama's old robes if you want to. You know, while your stuff dries. Having throat problems again. I don't know what this is. This used to be his place before he became the village elder. I never really got rid of all his things. He won't even notice you're wearing his stuff. You can change. Oh. There's supposed to be a thing indicating that she was speaking. This used to be his place before he became the village elder. I never really got rid of all of his things. He won't even notice you're wearing his stuff. You could change in there. I'll get into something else. Before we had a chance to get started, the sound of heavy footsteps could be heard from outside, and soon enough a young guardsman appeared at the door. Hikage-san, there you are. We have been searching for you. Elder-sama wishes to see you right away. Oh, of course, right away. Damn. The guard saluted, snapping around and took off. Narumi closed the door behind him and walked back to a clean pile of clothes. Ooh. Ooh. Damn. Without warning, she began stripping off her clothes in front of me. My first reaction was to quickly cover my eyes with one of my hands. Narumi, however, didn't seem the least bit bothered by my presence. Narumi-chan, what are you doing? What's the matter, Takahiro? Never seen a girl in her undies before? Oh wait, you saw mine yesterday. Maybe you've just never seen them on a girl. Actually, I've seen a lot of things in my life. Never girl stripping. What would your grandfather say if he saw you? I stuttered as I briefly visualized how Narumi would have looked without the underwear, but quickly cleared the thought from my mind. Well, he's not gonna find out, is he? It's nothing. We need to hurry, right? So get changed already. It's a matter of decency. Aren't you embarrassed knowing there's a healthy guy in the same room as you? At this rate, this and that might happen and we're going to be late either way. Not really. I don't mind if it's you, Takahiro-kun. I'm honored. I wouldn't mind any of my friends seeing me like this. Mio has seen me naked lots of times. That's not really the issue here. Anyway. I quickly turned around, trying my best not to peek as she finished changing. Tell me when you're done, this kind of stimulation isn't any good for my mind. If you'd quit your babbling, we'd be done already. Get your clothes off and get the dry ones on. I suddenly felt hands grab my hips from behind, and without any other warning, my trousers were yanked down to my ankles. A firm kick to my rear followed, and I stumbled forwards towards the wardrobe. Now! You didn't have to kick me. I sighed in frustration. I had been wrong. Whether it was a tsundere tyrant, Narumi, Machiko, or Maiko, these girls had no common sense. You know, it's not fair that only you get a show. Hey, keep your eyes to yourself. This isn't a peeping contest. Good thing, too. I'd have no chance of winning. Well, I admit your side certainly has the more interesting view. I mumbled as I snuck another peek at Narumi while putting the old robes that I had found in the wardrobe. She seemed to have changed most of her clothes by now, replacing them with near identical dry ones. I wondered why she would have more than one set of the same clothes when it struck me. You have a strange dress code here. Huh? What dress code? These are my clothes. Are you saying I dress strangely? No, they just look a lot like your other clothes. Then again, what do I know? There's not a lot of options when it comes to clothes here. In the cities, maybe, but here you have to find something you look good in, and you stick to it. Some folks don't even have spare clothes, so I'm pretty lucky. Huh. I guess it would be for a tailor to find work. It would be hard for a tailor to find work in a small village like this. I'm guessing fabric isn't easy to come by either. Yeah, it's never been easy, but these days it's almost impossible to convince people to come here with the spirits around. People used to pay a visit to the shrine, but lately they haven't been coming. Makes sense. I don't think many would be willing to risk their lives peddling goods to some small village knowing wild spirits might attack. Oh, yeah. Oh, dang it. I'm gonna need some help here, Takahiro-kun. Are you done yet? Yep, just finished. What do you need help with? My wrap came loose. Will you pull it back and tighten it for me? I've never been able to get it right on my own. As she said that, she pulled her top up, presenting her back to me. You want me to do it? Feeling slightly embarrassed at the thought, I tried my best to keep my thoughts pure as I took the end of the wraps and helped pull them back, tying them into place. I quickly made sure that they were neither too tight nor too loose. Come on, man, just pull it tight and tie it. A little surprised at her reaction, I decided to do as she said and pulled it even tighter than I had previously, securing it with a sigh. This isn't good for my heart. There, that wasn't so hard.
Like your penis?
Come on, let's hurry. Oh, you look good. Like a handsome young businessman. Look more like a monk than a businessman. Smiling weakly, I quickly followed after Narumi, who was already in a hurry to leave the house. We dashed across to the village. Ugh. Something really hurts in my throat. We dashed across the village to the elder's house, Narumi grabbing a weapon along the way. When we got there, we heard shouting and exchanged worried glances before we pushed through the door. Halt, villain! Oh my. Prepare your, did we cross into a different dimension? Stop it, stop it, stop it. Never! I'm going to vanquish you! The scene that lay before us was unlike anything I had ever seen. In one corner, Maiko was cuddling a large empty bottle, sleeping and giggling to herself. At the back of the room, the village elder was hitting a large casket with a lock on it, while grumbling to himself. In the center of the room, Machiko lay pinned to the floor by Mio, who was tickling her mercilessly. Naru-chin, will you help me with this? This chest is locked and all the sake is trapped inside and suffocating. We need to rescue it immediately. Oh jeez, they're drunk. Takahiro-kun, can you stop those two? This wasn't the battle I was expecting. I nodded my head in confirmation to Narumi's request, and I turned towards the two girls lying on the floor, trying to decide how best to deal with them. With both of them drunk, it would probably have been easy enough to get Mio to release Machiko. But before I had a chance to intervene, the two girls' roughhousing on the floor had caused them to bump into the table, knocking over a bottle of sake onto the both of them. Oh, I'm all wet now. You spilled the sake. Ah, stupid. The girl pushed herself upright, flailing like a spoiled child before turning tail and running through the door. Good grief, who knows what she might do? Naru-chan, please go get her. In this state, she'd only make stupid advances at me. Right. As Narumi ran off to retrieve the drunken fox girl, I was left to take care of the remaining few. Mio-san, you need to come with me. We need to get you into something clean. You just want to see me naked. What? No, I'm not a pervert. Why does everyone seem to think that?
Probably because you are one.
I mean, I do want to see boobs, but I have my honor, damn it. Nope, not gonna do anything you tell me to. I'll stay right here and swim in sake. I sighed and looked down at the woman who was indeed trying to swim in the tiny puddle of sake on the floor. Taking a deep breath, I prepared myself. Tsundere Chief, enemies have been sighted near the hot springs. Their numbers are about to overwhelm us. We need reinforcements right away. I came up with the bluff on the spot, hoping it would get Mio out of the room. What? We have to vanquish them at once. Come on, private pervert, to the hot springs. But aren't we supposed to defend? Before I had time to finish my sentence, Mio had dragged me to the entrance of the building by the collar of my robe. No! Attack! Attack! Get to the hot springs and attack! I'll be there soon! And with that, she shoved me through the door with a hefty kick, the door slamming shut behind me. My hearing wasn't perfect, but I could have sworn I heard a yelp and a tumble following Mio's departure. We're at a hot springs, that means things are only bound to get sexier. A large open area lay ahead of me, closed off by a tall bamboo fence. There was also a small area off to the side for more delicate washing. Sighing to myself, I began to tidy up the place a little, removing sharp objects and small obstacles that the drunken woman might injure herself with, and waited. 5 minutes went by before I heard the door open and close, followed by a gentle slosh of someone stepping into the water of the hot spring. Ah, the water's great! Hurry up and get in! Whatever happened to Attack Attack? Terrible band. I think they broke up, did they? Oh no, they're bad. I turned around expecting her to be standing in the water with her clothes on. However, see what I mean? However, the sight that awaited me was far from what I have expected from the tsundere tyrant. There was no katana slicing through the air or harsh words being shouted. Instead, an attractive-looking girl wearing a simple towel had decided to take a seat in the hot water. Mio-san? Whether it was a result of the drinking or not, her warm smile she showed to me caused me to pause. Care to join me? I don't think. Get in the water! Yes, ma'am. I quickly moved closer to the water, nearly slipping on the wet tiles before I made my way in. I folded up my robe, but it kept the towel I had found around my waist. Today's been pretty busy, huh? Though the last thing I expected was for all of you to gulp down the sake like a baby drinks its milk. The girl said nothing for a while, regarding me with a faint grin on her face. Made me nervous. I'd almost rather have her be shouting and angry. You don't slack off, do you? I can tell that you train a lot. Huh? Briefly caught off guard by her comment, I quickly gathered my thoughts and nodded in return. Well, I practice judo, so it's natural for me to train my body a lot. I'm sure the same could be said of you, Mio-san. I mean, you look, rather feminine, but I could tell you knew how to handle a sword. That shows diligence and talent, but above all, experience. You started young, didn't you? I did! She leaned back against the rocks and let out a sigh. It took me a long time to become competent with the blade. Days and nights of endless training, regardless of wind and weather, all in order to toughen myself and make myself strong enough. It is horrible knowing nothing of your early life. I just turned up here in rags. The guards found me out in the woods one day while on patrol, starving and dirty. The previous village elder took pity on me and took me in. Everything went well for a while. Narumi's family took me in, treated me like one of their own. Then everything fell apart. Seeing the village that had taken me in, fed me, clothed me, given me shelter, suffering at the hands of spirits, I couldn't take it. As she spoke, she let out another sigh. It seemed the alcohol was making her a bit more talkative than usual, which wasn't a bad thing. I just hoped that I wouldn't end up paying for it once she had sobered up. After that, I felt like I had to do something. I couldn't just sit by while everything fell apart around me. The village was devastated by the fires. On that day, I pleaded with the former chief of the guard to train me, to make me stronger. I wanted to protect the village, to protect Narumi at all cost. He eventually agreed, but told me that I would need to strengthen my resolve first. And that's why you became you could say it, a tsundere tyrant. I don't know what tsundere means, but the tyrant part isn't far off. I didn't want to drive everyone away, at least of all Narumi. But I had to, in order not to feel the pain of loss again. Spirits haven't been our only problem. Bandits, beasts, and the weather. The village needed protecting from all of it. It became a purpose, and it made me distance myself from the... This voice is killing my throat. Oh, I'm just gonna read it in my regular voice for the rest of this episode anyway. Guess that explains why you've been acting like that around Machiko and Maiko. That's right, although I am beginning to think that perhaps we can coexist. The fox spirits at least. I suppose this has something to do with you, so thank you. You're welcome? It's not like I did much. I mean it, truly, you and the sisters. You may have saved me a life of living in fear, perhaps even prevented my death. I think you'd better tell them that. You're right, especially considering what comes next. Huh? What do you mean? The girl's words were becoming incoherent, muttering something about spirits in the village. It seemed like fatigue was finally taking its toll. Well, the other spirits probably won't be leaving the village alone anytime soon. We're gonna have to figure out how to stop them. But asking Maiko and Machiko-san to help us is like asking you to turn on Narumi-chan. Hahaha, turn on. The girl giggled at this for quite some time, so I let out a sigh and coughed politely. What I meant was, they'll have to fight against their own kind at some point. I mean, why would they want to help you guys out in the first place? I think you and Narumi would be the pieces we need to solve this puzzle. And we better figure out what to do soon. I doubt the spirits will hold back next time. You sound like it's some kind of game. That's not nice. As she said this, the girl slid further down into the water. It's a bit easier to think of it like that. The moment they get ahead of us, it's game over. If you and Narumi-chan fix things between the villagers and the sisters, things might work out. You have to get close to them as possible. But I don't like girls like that. The girl became incredibly flustered by my comments, having misunderstood what I had said. Before I could explain, she slumped over, her cheeks deep crimson red. As I tried to move closer, it became clear that she had passed out. The heat had probably gotten to her. Just my luck. She had passed out wearing nothing but a towel. I swear someone up there is just testing my patience with these temptations.
You don't take advantage of women when they're drunk?
Sighing in annoyance, I carefully wrapped my arms around the girl and pulled her out of the water. Realizing that leaving Mio here would be a bad idea, I thought about what to do when Narumi came barging in. Takahiro-kun, I heard you were in here. I managed to... Whoa, what's going on here? It's not what you think. The great captain couldn't handle the heat. Could you take over here? Sure, that's what happened. I believe you, you stud. Come on, I'll take her. I'll make sure she gets a good night's rest. But if you did do stuff to her while she was drunk, I'm going to kick your ass. As well you should, Narumi. I shall refrain from provoking her wrath. The last thing I need is a hungover samurai trying to turn me into a shish kebab. I motioned for Narumi to come over. You should get some rest too, Takahiro-kun. And make sure you keep an eye on Chi-chan. She's a little restless right now. Leave her to me. She'll be in good hands. And with those words, I left Narumi to take care of the passed out captain. I quickly changed into the robes I had borrowed and made my way back to the main hall. As expected, I found Machiko curled up on the floor. Thankfully, it looked like she had made her way to Maiko, who was cuddled up next to her. The two girls looked adorable, and their cute mumblings only made it all the more enjoyable to watch. I considered waking them up so we could return to the mansion, but the sound of my name interrupted my train of thoughts. Walking out into the garden beyond the room, onto the wooden deck, I found the village elders sitting on the grass looking up at the stars. Young man, are the stars here as beautiful in your world? I walked over to him and lay flat against the grass, finally allowing myself to rest. I looked up at the night sky and smiled. You know, I never really got a good look at them. I'm always busy with this or that. I yawned loudly and felt my eyelids getting heavy as I wiggled around a bit in an effort to get comfortable. Perhaps you should, if you get back, that is. The previous elder once told me that all worlds shared the same sky. It sounds silly to me, but maybe there's something to it. I mean, it does look similar, sparkly and black. Maybe he was right. The elder remained silent for a while. When he spoke again, I could barely make out what he said, sleepiness taking over. Before long, I drifted off to sleep beneath the starry sky. Alright, I think falling asleep in the grass is a good place to end this episode. So, thank you guys so very much for watching the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this one, please consider subscribing. And until then, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.